This is a video about how to paint the Dawnriders, part 1, only the horse. Hello, this is 60 Goblins and one brush with a painting video how to paint the Dawnriders. The easiest way to paint the horse hide of the Dawnriders, this is a video part 1, only the horse. The easiest way is to just spray the horse in Wraithbone and then apply Skeleton Horde. Skeleton Horde contrast color looks great. Easy to do. The model is difficult enough. Don't waste too much time on the horse hide. But, of course, we will try out what's recommended in the book, Kislev flesh. The mane you can either leave in white, then you need Apothecary White to shade it, or you can have a straw colored kind of yellow, then you need Agarros Dunes. Agarros Dunes, or if you want it even more yellow, Nasdreg yellow. That's the easiest way. And for the hooves, it's recommended to use dried bark and then to dry brush it with Gawthor brown, but there's an easier way. Wyldwood. Wyldwood is a contrast brown. That's really good. Let's try it out. Like this. That's enough. If you want a little bit darker, apply 2 coats or mix in a little bit of Basilicanum Grey or Black Templar. So here you can see Nasdreg yellow. It's a nice straw-colored yellow. If you want a little bit browner yellow, here that's Agarros Dunes. It's very similar, only a little bit darker, a little bit browner. I think I like the Nasdreg yellow a lot. And if you want to keep it white, here it's shaded with Apothecary White. Now let's see the difference between Wraithbone and Kislev flesh. I will apply Kislev flesh on the whole horse. Okay, that's the horse in Kislev flesh. Gives it a little bit of a pinkish beigeish color. Another possibility would be Morghast Bone. Morghast Bone is just a little bit darker than Wraithbone. I think that would work quite well, Morghast Bone. Otherwise, if we want a little bit more yellow, you can use Bestigor flesh or Angor flesh. Or if you want a little bit darker, you can use Rockheart flesh or Steel Legion drab, or any other kind of beige. Sundry dust, for example. Another way would be to spray the horse in sundry dust and then apply Skeleton Horde or Seraphim Sepia. And another way to shade the mane, of course, would be just to use Skeleton Horde on the white or Wraithbone or Seraphim Sepia. While we're waiting for the colors to dry, you can always fix the mistakes you did before, and don't dilute the Kislev flesh with water. It's a very, very liquid color. You don't need any water. It takes a horribly long time to dry. Okay, now this is Kislev flesh shaded with Skeleton Horde. Here, the legs, you can see the difference. One leg Kislev flesh with Skeleton Horde, and the lighter leg Wraithbone with Skeleton Horde. And the hooves are 2 coats of Wyldwood contrast. That looks quite nice. Okay, the mane now here and here is Corax White with Skeleton Horde, but I don't really like it. It's too similar. I will go back to the Nasdreg yellow. You can decide which part of the crest here you paint in, whatever your color is, blue and white or magenta and white. And here the middle part, you can paint in horse mane color or also in magenta and white or whatnot. And these 2 braids here I will paint also in the colors of the house. Otherwise it's more or less finished. I will paint the mouth with Reikland Fleshshade gloss, but you can also take any red. And then let's see what we do with the eyes. For the eyes, we need a brown glossy color. So either Agarros Earthshade gloss or the new color Cryptek Armourshade gloss. It just came out yesterday. That's it. That way the eyes are a little bit darker in a brownish color without much work. Okay, now it's time for the braid here. I will use white and magenta. And for magenta, I will use Volupus pink or Screamer pink. So that's it with Screamer pink. The beginning and end of the braid, I use Screamer pink, and then one part of the cross stitch. The other cross stitch part I will use white, and beneath I will leave the hair in yellow or beige. This is Zaitrec. You can use any other color, of course, to get another house. Blue would be Immetrica, for example. Okay, that's the tail of the horse with a white and magenta ribbon braided into it for Zaitrec. And that's the horse. So here you can still see the difference. Wraithbone and Skeleton Horde and Kislev Flesh and Skeleton Horde. The rest is all Kislev Flesh and Skeleton Horde. This is white and Nasdreg yellow. Then Reikland Fleshshade gloss for the mouth or some red. And Cryptek Armourshade for the eyes. Okay, that's the horse. The rider is also pretty easy because it's mostly gold. The tricky thing are all the hangings here, whatever they're called in horse language, the stuff that hangs down. To get it in white with a magenta ribbon rim border around it will not be easy. Okay, but that's the part 1 video, horse. Only the horse itself. If you want a little bit more detail, you can always highlight it a little bit. You can highlight the horse with Kislev flesh or mixture of Kislev flesh and Morghast bone, something like this. And you can highlight the mane, the hair with Wraithbone. And then you're really good. So now I highlighted the hair with Wraithbone. You see a little bit of a difference. It's actually quite nice. Let's look at some pictures after I highlight the horse a little bit with a mixture of Kislev flesh and Morghast bone. For that you need to water down the mixture with medium and water so that it becomes more transparent. Otherwise, if you mess up a little bit, it looks silly. Okay, that's the highlighted stage. It looks a little bit nicer, but you don't actually need it. That's what the contrast colors and shades are for. Okay, so it's Kislev flesh with Skeleton Horde, white with Nasdreg yellow, and 2 layers of Wyldwood contrast. And the last thing you can do is here the hair on top of the hooves. I cleaned that up with Kislev flesh and will shade it again with Skeleton Horde because I messed it up a little bit when I painted the hooves. And that's it. That's the horse. Personally, I think it's much easier to just spray the horse in either Wraithbone or Zendri dust and then just shade it with Skeleton Horde. The whole step of Kislev flesh takes a long time, and do you really need it? That's the question. Okay, let's look at some pictures. Here you can see the leg, only Wraithbone Spray and then Skeleton Horde on top. And here a comparison of the 2 types of legs, one with Wraithbone and one with Kislev slash beneath the skeleton horde. I'm also quite happy with the hooves, only with 2 coats of Wyldwood contrast and also with the Nasdreg yellow for the mane. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, share the videos with your friends if you liked it, and see you very soon.